me on the Twitter machine at Kev Kellum. And of course, follow at WrestleZone.com. News right now on WrestleZone.com to get to. Billy Corgan shoots down rumor about Thunder Rosa. AEW's Young Bucks clarify that controversial stipulation for the upcoming AEW Full Gear pay-per-view, and so much more. We'll get to it in the next few minutes. If you're watching on demand, if you're watching live, don't forget to hit the like button. Okay, all right. On YouTube, subscribe to our channel and turn the ding notifications on so you know exactly when we go live and exactly when new videos are up. On Facebook, you like us, but Mr. Zuckerberg would like you to also follow our page. So the follow is what gives you the notifications, and then you know when we're live on Facebook as well. Of course, we have episodes of WrestleZone wrap-up, long-form chats with your comments on screen after Monday at Raw, AEW NXT. That episode is up now, and later today, Dominic D'Angelo, Robert DeFelice will be here for a big wrap-up of the week that was in wrestling, and your questions being answered live in real time. So let's get to the news about Thunder Rosa. Now, you've seen her recently on AEW Wrestling, and some people would assume that she was under contract maybe with AEW, even though she is was the reigning NWA Women's Champion. She lost that title recently on Primetime Live, the show that the NWA is doing with the United Wrestling Network. Yet you're still seeing her appear in different forms. She was on the AEW All Out pay-per-view. She appeared on television a handful of times for them on Dynamite. So what is the deal? A lot of people, there heard some rumors that she was dropping the title, dropped it to Serena Deeb, who was out there with the belt and talking about it on last night's Dynamite. So what is going on with Thunder Rosa? Is she going to WWE? A lot of people thought she was going to WWE. But Billy Corgan, the owner of the NWA, yes, that Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins, has cleared the record and has gone after the wrestling media for what he thinks was some bad reporting here on a social media post saying, no, you have to love the press and media reports that don't contact the company she is under contract with, but instead listen to someone who has my email address but doesn't write and ask. She's under contract through 2021, and there's a reason for that. It's called excellence and faith at NWA. Now, of course, Thunder Rosa at Thunder Rosa 22 on Twitter had some fun with this, posting a video, a GIF of where she's showing her hip from her wrestling gear, and she has written on her hip AEW, WWE, NWA, question mark. So she's certainly playing with the rumors and all the discussion. Rosa has made several appearances for All Elite Wrestling, programming the recent weeks, and the relationship between the AEW and the NWA seems clarified. I mean, you even had a commentary last night thanking Billy Corgan and the NWA for letting the title be defended on All Elite Wrestling. And Serena Deeb is working with AEW. So is NWA with AEW? What does this mean for Thunder Rosa? It's kind of odd. What's going on here? But, you know, the record has been cleared. Billy Corgan says that she's under contract. So that's where this is going right now. Speaking of last night's television, you had AEW Dynamite. They set up a lot of different things. We also had a very, very fun Halloween Havoc episode of NXT. You can check out our AEW NXT post show. It is up right now on Facebook and YouTube. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. We had a lot of fun, me and John Clark. I really enjoyed these shows. What did you think of AEW and NXT? Throw it in the comments below. And if you haven't checked it out, listen to it on the podcast or watch it on Facebook or YouTube. Go ahead and check that out. Let's talk about AEW. Controversial gimmick was added to the upcoming AEW Full Gear pay-per-view with the Young Bucks. Just a few weeks ago, finally getting their shot at the FTR and the AEW Tag Team Championships. Now, the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson are, you know, EVPs in AEW. They're a part of the top branch of this company, yet they have not won the AEW Tag Team Championships. They're considered one of the more popular tag teams in the world. But like other members of All Elite, they haven't really gone and said, you know, we're just going to put ourselves over. They haven't done that. Cody may be the TNT champion. Kenny Omega may be nearing an opportunity at the AEW World title, but, you know, they haven't just draped themselves in gold. Now, the Young Bucks announced a very challenging, controversial stipulation to their title challenge coming up at the Full Gear pay-per-view. They won that opportunity. They've been kind of heelish the past few weeks, adding some edge. But last night, in a kind of picture-in-picture promo with FTR in a separate space, they clarified why they're doing this. And the stipulation is pretty odd. If they don't win this match against the FTR, a dream match that people have been waiting for years since the FTR was in WWE and finally jumped to AEW. Dream match, if they don't win it, they'll never challenge for the All Elite Wrestling Tag Team Championships ever again. So they clarified on social media posts here recently, saying there's so much more to this than just a dream match. It's an impossible match that nobody ever saw happening, and it's been brewing for years. It's the clash of two polar opposite styles. They think they're the best at what they do, and we think we're the best. They're a throwback retro team, while we have fought for years to usher in new ideas. But more importantly for us, this is a story about overcoming failure. We have failed in the tag team tournament. We have failed in our tag team title match against SCU. We failed in our tag team title match against Hangman and Kenny. I was at that match. It was fantastic. We failed in the tag team gauntlet, and it's time to put ourselves in a no-fail situation. Our backs are against the wall. We've got to bet on ourselves. If we don't win, we'll never challenge for the tag titles ever again. No more failing. I don't know if that's a clarification. I mean, it definitely gives you the build-up to this. What you basically talked out there was a video vignette of all the other times that they attempted to win the tag team titles or climb up the AEW tag team ladder. So I still don't get it. I understand where it adds weight to the match, but I still don't get it. Do you guys get it? Like, it feels just to me on the surface, immediately it felt redundant because this happened last year with Cody when he challenged Chris Jericho for the AEW World title at Full Gear, same event. So I never thought I would think of something in AEW as being redundant. Now it does feel consequential. You can't deny that. It feels like there is a stake here, not just, the winner gets a title, but one team that you love may never get the title if they don't do this. Other people texting with their thoughts here about the Thunder Rosa story we covered a few minutes ago. Herman Takar saying, would love to see Thunder Rosa in NXT. She'd be great in there. AEW should sign her and build up their women's division around her. Yeah, she's very much a fantastic talent. I understand why WWE would be interested in her as well. A lot of background there, a lot of personality. Very much a draw that can do a lot of different things, bilingual, a lot of different talents outside of wrestling that she can perform. A great look, very unique. And you better believe that she can mess some people up in a real fight too, huh? And other people just want to talk about the NWA. Would love to see NWA Power return. Andy Bolger saying that. Andy, I agree with you, but times are safe, and that's a show that's done in a certain way with a lot of people right on top of the ring. I understand it. And NWA, it isn't WWE or AEW where they have the infrastructure to really pull stuff off like that right now. Maybe they do. Maybe they figure something out. I'm rooting for all wrestling right now, and everyone be safe with everything going on. Nashad saying NXT Halloween Havoc, good show. That's what he says. I agree. It was a really, really fun show. You can check out our review. Once again, it's in the podcast feed, the video feed as well for you. And John Udanovich saying Dynamite was solid. Halloween Havoc was all right. I loved Halloween Havoc. I really, really enjoyed that show. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Coming up later today on the WrestleZone wrap up with Dominic D'Angelo and Robert DeFelice. I'm going too fast here. And they're going to be on. I'm not going to be here, and there's a reason for that. I'm going to be at AEW. Too many A's. I'm tripping over my words like crazy. AAW Alive. That is tonight on Fight.tv at 7 p.m. Central. I will be on that show doing interviews with some of the big talent on this big Fight TV pay-per-view that starts at 7 Central. And I'll be doing some cool stuff there. At Fro on YouTube texting in saying, love your broadcast. Very entertaining, engaging. Thank you, Fro. Appreciate that, man. Thank you for watching on YouTube. You guys can check out a bunch of our shows on YouTube as well. Different people chiming in from across the world. And if you're watching on demand, go ahead and send in your comments about what you guys think about what's going on here in the world of wrestling.